Afternoon sunshine, upper 70s for a high. Saturday, partly cloudy with temperatures in the low 80s. Meadville this morning checking in at 63 degrees. Cambridge Springs, Edinburgh at 61. Titusville 63. Franklin 67. Oil City 67 degrees here at 7:13. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.
Just one drum. What might be right for you may not be right for some. Luke runs the show, he's a man of means. Then along comes Amy, who thinks she is the queen. But they got the morning drill, the morning drill, the morning drill that wakes the world. The morning drill.
All right, happy Tuesday, everybody. Glad you're with us here on this 15th day. What? 15th day of July. You don't think you're the queen.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah. Those morning drill singers, we'll have to... They're in trouble now, aren't they? So there's a story this morning. This is kind of interesting. There's a couple brain stories the last week or so that have been kind of interesting. Can your brain run out of memory? Is the headline. This is from Live Science. You can use up all the storage on your phone or max out your computer's drive, but can you use up all the memory space in your brain? Despite how you might feel before an exam or after a sleepless night, before a work deadline, neuroscientists say that for a typical healthy brain, memory capacity isn't fixed or easily used up. There isn't a meaningful limit to how much information the brain can store. Memories can be thought of as just data that the brain uses to understand the current moment and to make predictions about the future and to scaffold future learning. That's because the brain doesn't store memories as isolated files in one specific nerve cell. Instead, a single memory is distributed across many neurons, and each of those individual brain cells plays a role in many different memories. And the main headline that I was looking at was just, people who are forgetful, and they say why forgetting is actually a sign of your brain working efficiently. So, kind of an interesting study. Now, there was another story about the brain that grabbed my attention. And, you hear people or read stories about, if you don't get enough sleep, you're kind of groggy the next day. Well, do you know that can have an effect up to 2 weeks later? So you could have had a bad night's sleep 2 weeks ago, and it could affect you now, which I thought was quite interesting. So it's not just the next day that the brain will say, okay, let's kind of figure this out. No, it could be up to 2 weeks later where the brain's like, remember that thing 2 weeks ago? Yeah, that's why you're kind of sluggish right now. So just kind of interesting. Let's see. All-Star break going on in Major League Baseball. I don't know if anybody's catching what's going on there. Cal Riley becomes the first catcher to win the Major League Baseball Home Run Derby competition. That was always a fun thing to watch. Part of the All-Star breaks, the Home Run Derby. Did you ever do that as a kid? Like on your baseball or softball team? Just have, a fun practice where you would do like a Home Run Derby type of thing?
Yeah.
It was always fun when we would do that.
Anything to get us from actual practice,
Yeah.
but we did it as coaches for soccer. Like, if we could just make it through the first half hour, 45 minutes without issue, this is...
And then get to some fun games.
We'll do some fun stuff.
Heavy rainfall has unleashed widespread chaos along the I-95 corridor, submerging major cities and transforming streets into waterways, prompting New Jersey to declare a state of emergency. Some areas of the Garden State and portions of Pennsylvania were deluged with over 6 inches of rain in a short period as relentless downpours Monday night into Tuesday morning led to numerous stranded vehicles impassable roads, multiple water rescues as emergency crews work to assist those caught in the rising floodwaters. New York City experienced the second wettest hour on record, just over 2 inches, and shattered a 117-year-old daily rain record on Monday, according to the Fox Forecast Center. So, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, New York City, Hartford, Connecticut were just a few of the major cities under flash flood warnings. At one point, around 18 million Americans across the East were under a warning as 2 inches of rain was reported in just 1 hour in Hopewell, New Jersey, Monday evening. If the flooding in the Northeast wasn't enough, a flash flood emergency was issued in Southern Virginia overnight, where the cities of Colonial Heights and Petersburg saw several inches of rain that prompted high water rescues throughout the city. Water rescues from apartment buildings were also reported. The two cities are roughly located just south of Richmond, Virginia. On Sunday, the same areas experienced flooding as well. This now marks the 48th flash flood emergency in 2025. So, Northeast getting battered with some rain and flooding. So, yeah, do be careful, because we know people that are close to some of those areas, and we'll be thinking about them as they get this figured out. Let's see, what else is going on today? Anything exciting? You got birthdays and what we're celebrating.
I do.
We've got Joe Tech joining us later this morning. We've got friends from the Caboose Motel.
Yeah.
This is kind of cool. There's only one other location that I can think of that a community that has like a motel made up of cabooses that you can stay at, and that's the Stroudsburg area.
Oh, yeah.
And Titusville. So if you've never stayed in a caboose, it's a really cool experience. And it's a lot of fun, and we're going to learn more about that. They got a big anniversary coming up, or they're celebrating a big anniversary. So we're going to learn more about the Caboose Motel, and it's always packed, which just lets you know that there's a lot of people that visit. You know, it's not just that visitors coming and staying, but there's people that live around here that go, you know what? Let's escape a night with the kids. Let's go stay at the train. And who doesn't love the train? It brings out like the kid in you, doesn't it? Trains?
Sure. Yeah.
Dinosaurs. If you've never been, the Pennsylvania Railroad Museum, again in Stroudsburg, is a really cool place to check out. It's awesome. It is huge. And you can see lots of cool things, train related. But and then right across the street is just a beautiful train station. The Stroudsburg Railroad is right there. And if you've got little kids and they love trains or they love Thomas the Tank Engine, they have like a life-size Thomas the Tank Engine. It's a real engine that actually moves and pulls the cars. We took when the kids were little, we would go there for quite a while. We spent a number of years going down, taking the kids to that. And it was always a lot of fun. So, but anyhow, they have, I think, a motel there made up of cabooses, and we got the Caboose Motel here. So we'll learn more about that next hour. How about that?
Yeehaw.
Tomorrow on the program, Krista Lundy from the Meadville Chamber, Susan Williams from the Venango Area Chamber of Commerce will be with us. Friday, we've got Dr. Stephanie Feely from the Education and Training Center at Pitt Titusville. Also, Emily Altamar of the Oil Region Alliance, and Mr. Sports, Bruce Peterson. So the week rolls on with great guests. Middle of the month already here in July. Can you believe that?
It's crazy.
All right. You want to get to birthdays and what we're celebrating?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're going to, again, today's the 15th, and we'll start with birthdays here this morning. Who's celebrating?
All right. Singer Linda Ronstadt is 79 today.
Oh, wow. Great singer.
Actor Forrest Whitaker is 64.
Great actor.
Comedian Eddie Griffin is 57.
Funny guy.
Go ahead, say it. Actor Scott Foley is 53. Actor Brian Austin Green is 52. Actress Diane Kruger is 49. And that is all.
And she's married to Norman Reedus, right? She was in the National Treasure movies?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Oh, really?
I can't tell from the picture. It doesn't really look like that person.
Oh, Diane
Kruger. It could be completely, but the picture.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like her.
Yeah.
Sorry.
She's in those National Treasure movies.
Yes.
Which I keep hearing they're going to make a third one. They're kind of a fun adventure.
They were fun, yeah. Yeah.
All right, we're going to go from birthdays to what it is we're celebrating here today.
You ready?
Sure.
Okay. Celebration of the Horse Day. Developmental Disability Professionals Day. National Be a Dork Day.
That's not every day?
Today's your day. National Clean Beauty Day. National Give Something Away Day. National Gummy Worm Day. National Pet Fire Safety Day. National Respect Canada Day. National Tapioca Pudding Day. Orange Chicken Day. St. Swithin's Day. The Democracy and National Unity Day of Turkey. And it is World Youth Skills Day. And that's it.
All right. You said Gummy Bear Day. Or
Yeah.
Gummy Worm.
Gummy Worm.
Okay, that's your thing.
That's
In
my
fact,
thing.
last night, you even pointed some out. You're like,
Those are like my new favorites.
that kind?
Yes.
Why didn't you get them?
Because that would have ended up being my dinner, and that would not have been a good thing. Yeah.
A bag of
I was
gummy
behaving.
worms. I don't like gummy worms.
Sorry. So sorry.
So we were out last night. We had to run some errands, and we went into a place that we had heard rumor that the Halloween decorations were out. And we were, just so everybody knows, we're not the only crazy people shopping for Halloween items in July.
No, we're not.
So there were other people in the aisles.
Is equally as excited.
Yeah, it's funny too because they were like spread out, in the aisle because it's like let me look first, and I'm going to buy whatever I want before you take a look. I'm joking. They were very nice people, and they all were almost embarrassed to be looking at Halloween stuff in July. The one lady's like, "Oh, it's only July." You made some comment about it. You're like, "Oh, it's okay."
Yeah, no big deal.
But
I can't remember. We walked into one store. Oh, and we were in another store, and we were looking at the Halloween stuff. And the next aisle over was Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
From Halloween. And some girl came in and went, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe they have fall stuff out."
Yes. Well, it was almost like I think was she with her daughter?
No, she was like, no.
Okay. Yes,
I stood there with a pumpkin in my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, right? Yay!
Amy was a little excited.
But then there was somebody at the cash register buying Christmas stuff, so it doesn't really it's fine. I'm not judging at all. It's okay.
Well, listen, not that there's any excuse to be doing this, but I think there's a lot of unknowns with how much holiday inventory there'll be this year.
Yeah.
With certain things. So I think not only are you seeing stores kind of jump out and put this stuff out, I want to say earlier, but honestly, if you look back, I know there's one store in particular where the Halloween stuff was coming out 4th of July weekend, So I think for some places it might be a few weeks earlier than normal. But it's sort of been the norm the last several years about this time of year. So I don't know. But anyways, I think with headlines that you're seeing with, Halloween and Christmas inventory when it comes to decorations, it could be a tough year. I think you're going to see a lot of people snatching this stuff up quickly. And so don't be somebody that's like, "Oh, yeah, we'll come back later and get it." If you see something and you want it, you probably should get it.
Yeah.
So I know there's one piece of professional equipment that I've been trying to get, and no go on that. They won't bring it into the U.S. or it's held up right now. And who knows when they're going to allow these products in. So we've had to tweak sort of our plans on things we wanted to upgrade for, like the sports season, for example. So, yeah, crazy. But again, if you're someplace and you see something and it's like, well, hey, it's July, but you know, it's a cool Christmas thing, you might wanna snag it before it's gone.
Yeah,
because I'm sure supplies are going to be limited this year, but who knows? And then the other thing is, like, you whispering over, like, do we really need this?
yeah,
No, we don't, but we should get it because it's cool.
yeah.
So those conversations are happening as well.
I think you should let me get all of our stuff out so we can better assess what we actually need.
Okay.
Yeah. So just, let me start now.
So there's, for us, there's like two trains of thought with the, we do holidays pretty hard, I think. Mm-hmm. Especially Halloween and Christmas.
Yes.
But we're so busy in the fall, it's hard to really kind of sit back and enjoy it. So over the years, it's in my mind, I keep thinking, it's okay to put the stuff out a little earlier so we have more time to kind of enjoy it and take it in. So that's sort of how I'm rationalizing that. But I don't know. Probably wouldn't hurt to maybe start looking at bringing stuff. No,
I know.
I'm not giving you the okay to do that yet. It's like, can we just enjoy? If summer goes fast, the rest of the year goes fast. We're coming up on 7:30. It's been a quick morning here this morning. We've got your headlines coming up. We'll share some business stories with you here this morning, some sports headlines. That weather forecast, we'll revisit that. You said it's National Horse Day or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Wow.
Something about horses.
Yeah, know a lot of people that...
Celebration of the Horse Day.
Celebration of the Horse Day. Mm-hmm. Very nice.
There you go.
Let's take a look at one as we head into the news, huh?
So in a nutshell, we're going to make top-of-the-line weapons that will be sent to NATO.
In the woods an hour north of New York City, students are on high alert. Not for bears or coyotes, but something much smaller. Ticks, some the size of a sesame seed. They're dragging cloth through the terrain to collect the critters, and they're finding more arachnids than usual. Dr. Tom Daniels is the director of Fordham University's Louis Calder Center.
It's been a really hot year for ticks. We're seeing numbers that are generally about 30 to 40% higher than we saw last year, for example.
The bulk of the students' findings are black-legged ticks, responsible for spreading Lyme disease. Other species included the American dog tick, which is linked to Rocky Mountain spotted fever, and the invasive Asian longhorned tick.
But there's speculation, of course, that one of the reasons we're seeing more ticks, not just number, but even a higher diversity, has to do with global warming, and that certainly is a factor. We're seeing ticks in areas that we hadn't seen them before. But the black-legged tick numbers go up and down from one year to the next, and we don't always know why it is that happens.
Scientists also point to a soaring deer population and people moving to more wooded areas.
The wildlife is here, the ticks are here, and now we're here, and that raises our risk.
His lab also operates the Fordham Tick Index, tracking tick activity across the region. This summer, it's consistently showing high risk for tick bites in the tri-state area, the region around southern New York, Connecticut, and northern New Jersey. More tick bites means a greater risk for tick-borne illnesses like Lyme disease, which affects nearly 500,000 Americans annually, according to the CDC. Dr. Bruce Faber is an infectious disease physician.
Only about 3 or 4% of ticks carry Lyme. Nevertheless, there's so many ticks and so many tick bites in certain areas. If you go hiking in the woods in the Northeast right now and you don't do anything to protect yourself, it would not be unusual to see that individual come back with 5 or 10 ticks all over their body.
Experts are urging precautions like using tick repellent, wearing long sleeves, and checking yourself and pets after activities outside.
We make the best equipment, the best missiles, the best of everything. The European nations know that. And we've made a deal today, and I'm going to have Mark speak about it, but we've made a deal today where we are going to be sending them weapons and they're going to be paying for them. The United States will not be having any payment made. We're not buying it, but we will manufacture it and they're going to be paying for it. Our last meeting of a month ago was very successful in that they agreed to 5%, which is more than $1 trillion a year, so they have a lot of money. And these are wealthy nations. They have a lot of money, and they want to do it. They feel very strongly about it, and we feel strongly about it, too. But we're in for a lot of money, and we don't want to do it anymore, and we can't. But we make the best, and we're going to be sending the best to NATO, and in some cases to maybe, at Mark's suggestion, if we go to Germany, where they're going to send early on missiles, and they'll be replaced, and NATO is going to take care of it.
Swooping in to save you over $11,000 off your next Chevy truck. It's Community Chevrolet's newest mascot, Independence Dog.
Getting you approved by day, fighting crime by night.
With Independence Day savings running all month long, you can save more than $11,000 off MSRP on a new Silverado, or save nearly $3,000 on hot new SUVs like the Trailblazer and the Equinox. Follow Independence Dog to explosive savings this month at Community Chevy.
Interstate Pipe and Supply takes pride in providing superior customer service. That's why our dedicated employees are well trained and have the experience to offer friendly, quick, and reliable service and support. Need materials delivered to your job site? No problem. Interstate offers fast delivery from our 4 locations in Western Pennsylvania. We also serve Eastern Ohio, Northern Western Virginia, and Western New York. Service means business at Western Pennsylvania's premier pipe and supply company, Interstate Pipe and Supply.
Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning provides residential and light commercial air conditioning services throughout the area. They understand the importance of your cooling system working properly. That is why you can trust in Vanderhoof to do the job right. Whether it's a non-working air conditioner, yearly maintenance, or a new install, you can be assured that we will solve your problem quickly and efficiently. Your home's air conditioning system is far more than just temperature. It's a complete comfort system that combines temperature, humidity, air quality, and above all, safety. Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning in Titusville.
Looking for expert orthopedic care? Dr. Charlie Gates, a trusted name at Titusville Area Hospital, can help you regain mobility and a better quality of life. With years of experience and a passion for personalized care, Dr. Gates specializes in treating a wide range of orthopedic conditions. Whether it's joint pain, sports injuries, or orthopedic surgery, trust Dr. Charlie Gates at Titusville Area Hospital for your orthopedic care. Call 814-827-9770 today to schedule your appointment.
Welcome to Inspire Med Spa, the place you know and love for massages, Botox, laser resurfacing, and semi-permanent makeup. Now we're offering even more, including laser hair removal, tattoo removal, and hair rejuvenation. Our team is here to provide expert care in a peaceful, luxurious environment designed with your relaxation in mind. And with our newly added services, now you can get all your beauty services in one place. Visit Inspire Med Spa today, because you deserve to look and feel your best.
I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us, but try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same. But you have excuses because you're old, so it's okay.
Listening
is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at soundidouttogether.org.
Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding is located at 305 East Spring Street in Titusville. Marsh Home Center welcomes you in to explore their growing inventory of name brand furniture, appliances, and bedding. Need something not currently in stock? No problem. Order from Marsh's online catalog and have it delivered right to your door. Visit Marsh's to see their entire showroom, ask questions, see what items are on sale, or just stop in and say hi. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding, behind Giant Eagle in Titusville.
Whether you want to go and lead in your craft in the trades, whether you want to go and be that nurse or medical worker and have a real impact on lives, or whether you want to go and help that business improve its bottom line, this is the place. And now is your time to go with confidence, to go with skill, to go succeed. The Education and Training Center at Pitt Titusville.
Vehicle shopping? Make sure you check out Titusville Ford first. Shop our amazing selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. Visit us on Route 8 in Titusville and see why our customer service is a cut above the rest. Titusville Ford, your hometown dealer.
Wall Street's major indexes edged higher on Monday, with the Dow and S&P 500 posting modest gains and the Nasdaq gaining roughly 0.25%. President Trump ramped up trade tensions over the weekend, vowing to slap a 30% tariff on most imports from the European Union and Mexico starting August 1st, leaving the clock ticking for last-minute trade deals. Despite the headlines, investor reaction was muted, having grown numb to Trump's barrage of tariff threats and last-minute U-turns. In fact, more tough talk from Trump only creates more buying opportunities for stocks, said Tally Leger, chief market strategist at the Wealth Consulting Group.
In terms of the approach, I think this is a strategy. We haven't changed our interpretation of the more bark than bite approach. If you think about it, there's way too many countries and counterparties and too little time. So I think Trump is really trying to just push or force the moment to a crisis, if you will. And as a firm, we don't let good crises go to waste, and we've been shopping the sales. I think that another way to frame that for investors is, instead of selling into the strength, we'd be buying into any weakness that does manifest here in the weeks and months ahead.
One place where Trump's tariff rhetoric moved markets was crude prices, with U.S. benchmark oil dropping more than 2% after Trump on Monday threatened levies on buyers of Russian exports. That pushed the S&P 500 Energy Index down 1.2%, the biggest decliner among the 11 S&P sectors. Among individual movers, shares of Warner Brothers Discovery gained more than 2% after the studio's latest Superman caper had a strong opening weekend at the box office. Crypto stocks ticked up after Bitcoin topped $120,000 for the first time, with shares of Coinbase and MicroStrategy both rising. On the flip side, shares of Waters Corp dropped nearly 14% after the lab equipment maker agreed to merge with rival Becton Dickinson and Company's Biosciences and Diagnostic Solutions unit in a $17.5 billion deal. Investors now turn their attention to a raft of economic data due out this week, as well as the start to second quarter earnings season.
Unlike many other strategists and economists that chase the market down and back up again, we've held firm. And I know it sounds silly, but the buy the dips approach has worked since the inception of the S&P 500. So with this generally improving risk appetite on the part of investors, we think that you stick with a risk-on posture when it comes to portfolio positioning. And to us, that means emphasizing stocks over bonds. We talk about lightening up duration. So we have been a little bit cautious on longer dated maturity bonds. And that has helped us well. Within the equity component that we do prefer here, once again, we cautioned against overstaying your welcome in defensives. That has, again, served us well. We really like to emphasize the pro-cyclical, economy-sensitive areas of the stock market, and no change in views there. And those sectors include technology, that's new economy, industrials, that's old economy. And I think that there's a very strong kind of political tailwind behind that sector here, talking about the U.S. manufacturing renaissance, as well as consumer cyclicals over consumer defensives. And financials, as a general concept, these digital assets, you can think of them as non-correlated assets to traditional concepts like stocks and bonds and cash. And they function as kind of a mitigating force or portfolio insurance. And they did their job in the high volatility drawdowns of February, March, and April. But if you think about how Bitcoin was designed, it's doing its job. It's doing what it was designed to do. Intentionally has a limited supply. And so we like this as investors. It's a perfect tool for speculation because the distribution of outcomes has a positive right skew, meaning it has, by design, a fat right tail. So again, this is one of these concepts where you want to buy the dips, and there's an acronym for it, HODL, hold on for dear life. And I know that some might criticize digital assets for not having typical fundamentals like earnings and dividends and buybacks, but they do have very tangible investor flows, and that is a very real source of demand.
China's economy is holding up amid the turmoil over US trade policies. Figures out Tuesday showed GDP growing 5.2% on the year over the April to June quarter. That was slightly down on the previous period, but beat analyst forecasts. The numbers were helped as factories rushed out shipments to take advantage of the current trade truce with the US. But that leaves investors bracing for a weaker second half as exports cool off. Other figures released the same day also show parts of the economy still under strain. Retail sales growth slowed sharply in June, hitting its lowest level since the first months of the year. The country's ailing property sector also remains a drag, with home prices falling at their fastest pace in 8 months. Such negatives mean Beijing will remain under pressure to do more stimulus measures. Policymakers have already ramped up infrastructure spending and consumer subsidies in response, alongside steady monetary easing. Now investors will be closely watching a meeting of the ruling Politburo in late July for any signs of action. Some expect the government to boost spending if future data points to a downturn. But with deflation entrenched and domestic demand weak, it won't be easy to drive renewed activity. That could make hitting the official goal of about 5% growth this year a daunting task. Nvidia is set to resume selling AI chips to China. The company said in a statement that it's seeking permission from Washington for the move. That comes days after boss Jensen Huang met with US President Donald Trump. Nvidia's AI chips have been a key focus of US export controls, over concern they could be used by China's military. The firm has said the curbs could cut its sales by $15 billion. Now Huang is expected to hold a media briefing in Beijing on Wednesday, where he's attending a trade expo. His visit will be closely watched by the US, where 2 lawmakers have asked him not to meet companies linked to defense or intelligence applications. On Tuesday, he told state media in the country that it was crucial for American companies to establish roots in China. Nvidia faces growing competition from Chinese tech rivals, including Huawei. But firms in the country remain hungry for its AI chips. Now the US giant says it will develop a new model for the Chinese market, ensuring it is fully compliant with all US export controls. The move to resume sales comes after Washington and Beijing agreed a provisional trade truce. However, it's unclear how long that will last, with China facing an August 12th deadline to reach a durable deal with the White House. Mark Zuckerberg is placing a very big bet on AI. The Meta platform's boss said Monday that the firm would spend hundreds of billions of dollars building several massive data centers. They're meant to drive Meta's bid to win the race for so-called superintelligence. That's AI that exceeds human capabilities. Zuckerberg says the first of the new mega data centers, dubbed Prometheus, is set to come online next year. He touted the strength of the company's core advertising business to justify the spending. Meta last month reorganized its AI efforts under a division called Superintelligence Labs. That followed setbacks for its Llama 4 model and the departure of key staff. The firm is betting the new unit will generate revenue from products like smart glasses and new advertising tools. It has also been recruiting aggressively to staff the new outfit. However, one analyst said Zuckerberg's AI investment plan is really a long-term bet, not one that will generate major income anytime soon.
All right, let's take a look at that weather forecast for northwest Pennsylvania on this Tuesday morning. Well, areas of fog early, but that should be burning off here. Partly cloudy skies expected today with temperatures in the upper 80s. Some clouds this evening with lows in the upper 60s. Wednesday, looking at some afternoon thunderstorms, low 80s. Thursday, thunderstorms, low 80s. Friday, morning clouds, afternoon sunshine, upper 70s. Saturday, partly cloudy with temperatures in the low 80s. Meadville this morning at 65 degrees. Cambridge Springs, Edinburgh at 63. Titusville 65. Franklin 68. Oil City 68 degrees here at 7:51. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Well, we told you last week that TSA is eliminating the need for people to remove their shoes before flying. Another warning that they've issued is there'll be some things absolutely not tolerated at airports this summer.
Uh-oh.
It must be a stressful time to fly. I don't know. I thought the holidays were kind of stressful, but summer is peak travel season, and with that comes long lines, delayed flights, plenty of short fuses. But before you lose your cool at the airport, the Transportation Security Administration has a clear message for travelers. Bad behavior won't fly.
Uh-oh.
In a new post on X, the agency reminded passengers that harassment, threats, or physical aggression will not be tolerated. TSA officials emphasized their summer officers work hard to keep the skies safe and that aggressive or disruptive behavior could result in fines, arrest, or even removal from the airport.
Dun, dun, dun.
Your safety is always our priority, the agency said. Respecting our teams as they make that happen is a must. The reminder comes as the TSA prepares for one of the busiest travel summers on record, with more than 3 million passengers expected to pass through security checkpoints on peak days. That kind of volume can strain even the most seasoned traveler, but officials are urging passengers to keep their tempers in check. Incidents of unruly passenger behavior have increased in recent years, especially during the pandemic and its aftermath. In 2021, the Federal Aviation Administration reported over 6,000 unruly passenger cases.
Holy cow.
Many involving mask mandates at the time. While those numbers have dropped, tensions can still run high, especially when travelers face long waits or missed connections. So what to do to stay out of trouble and to help the line move smoothly? They say, 1, arrive early. TSA recommends at least 2 hours before domestic flights and 3 hours for international.
Ooh.
So I think we flew, back at the end of May?
Yeah.
And
it was pretty quick.
Yeah, we flew in February as well. But February, we got there several hours before, right? Mm-hmm. And same with May?
Yeah.
Or it was a little tighter?
No, I think May, we got there a couple hours, like 2 hours prior, but we got through in like a half hour.
Yeah. Now, I think last year, because of the renovations at Pittsburgh, they were saying get there 3 hours before.
There was like one, I can't remember, I don't remember. 2 years ago, it was like out the door, like the line.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
It was horrible.
All right. So, again, arrive at least 2 hours before domestic flights, 3 hours before international. They say pack smart. By knowing what is and isn't allowed in carry-ons can help think. What? What are you looking at me?
We'll go back to the lotion.
Yeah. Well,
that's the only time we've ever had any issues.
And that was my fault.
Mm-hmm.
Completely my fault.
Mm-hmm.
We were also in a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's on me.
Yep. 100%.
But pack smart.
Yes.
Not take 6 suitcases
That's
for
enough.
one person.
That's enough.
Okay, so that you have to admit is on you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's packing smart, but go ahead.
Be patient and courteous, especially with officers just doing their jobs. Now, I will say, it's not all on the passengers. There are some TSA employees that just look like they're miserable.
Yeah.
And it's like, you try to be friendly, like, hey, good morning or whatever. And they're like,
Get in line. Move ahead.
Yeah, stand here.
Don't talk to me. I know in Orlando, it was like, they're shouting out orders over and over and over and over. And you're like, whoa, hold on. Like, taking, no, I said, don't put that in there. Put it in here.
Right. All right, so be patient and courteous. They say use TSA PreCheck if you're eligible, which can help you skip long lines altogether, a major stress reducer amid summer travel crowds.
We've talked about that, but we don't fly enough for that to be beneficial for us. So, I mean, we have a friend who that's for his job. He flies all the time. So, yeah, that makes sense.
In short, don't let a moment of frustration cost you your vacation or worse. Respect TSA officers, follow the rules, and you'll be through security and on your way before you know it. I think that's a big thing. While it looks like it's going to take all day to get through the line, it won't.
And here's I don't know. I'm always way ahead of the game. Don't run late. Don't push it, because that's on you. Give yourself room for error. I know you get annoyed because it's like, I'm like, oh, we got to be here. We get there, we get through, and you're like, now I have to sit and wait. I'd rather sit and wait than miss our plane. It's incredibly stressful to me thinking we're going to be late. And
yeah. Although I got to say, I did pretty well because on our way home back in May, it was a weather delay. And I think we had a flight around 7, but we ended up flying out at 10. Or 11? I mean, we were in the airport for 4 or 5 hours. And usually that would drive me nuts. I actually found it very relaxing.
We were people watching.
Yeah, just walking around. Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoy. Well, actually, where we were, I mean, the windows were quite large, so you got to see the storm kind of roll through.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
But, yeah, anyways, summer's a busy travel time, so those are just some things. And again, TSA warning travelers that this kind of stuff will not be tolerated at airports this summer. So,
got it.
If you're planning on
Luke,
traveling
behave.
or flying, behave. Yeah, I don't. Again, it seems like every time we do go through it, though, you're like, maybe we should look into that pre-check, that TSA pre-check.
Yeah, but again, I don't think we don't travel enough.
I don't know. You said you had to jump through a lot of hoops.
Yeah.
But I was talking to somebody else, and they're like, no, we didn't have to do that, but just something to consider. Perhaps.
Sure, we'll look into that.
Sure. I think the thing that was most frustrating was waiting at the DMV for 3 hours to get
if you can do that, you can do
our
anything.
real ID, for them to say, you know what, we're still going to take you. We may just,
Well, I had a friend who went, and I a couple weeks ago, and she had everything. I gave her the rundown of what she needed, and she was happy about that. But she said she still waited for 4 hours there because they were taking, driver's license, and then they would take a couple, and then driver's license, and then she's like, it was ridiculous.
she didn't have her real ID?
She did not have it. No, she was at the DMV getting it.
Oh.
And it took about 4 hours.
4 hours. Wow. I see there's a show coming out this fall called DMV, I believe.
Oh.
I don't know.
Is it like
a comedy?
following?
No,
or is
it's a comedy.
Okay, I'm
yeah.
like, whew.
I'm like, I'm not sure. There's comedy to be had there.
Yeah.
But that was the worst 3 hours I may have experienced in my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
It was painful.
Yeah.
It was. And there again, some of those people aren't the happiest.
No. Mm-mm.
I don't know.
You and I had the same representative, and I'm like, hi, how you doing today? Have a seat. Okay, great.
Yeah, how's it going today?
Just
sign here. All right. Have a great day at work.
So in a nutshell, we're going to make top-of-the-line weapons and they'll be sent to NATO.
For over 11 years, Triple M Roofing has been providing Amish quality craftsmanship and work ethic that you can rely on. Pole barns, decks, porches, siding, and almost all roofing needs, Triple M Roofing will get the job done on time without sacrificing quality or the promise to deliver within your budget. Call today for a free estimate. 814-964-0472. Waiting is what you'll do with the other guys. Getting it done is what we do. Amish owned and operated. We're Triple M Roofing.
Who can solve this equation? Ooh! Me. Anyone else? Fine. Jake from State Farm.
Okay. All right. It's the personal price plan theorem. If you bundle your home and auto, that can equal an affordable price just for you. Bundling. Just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Are you tired of juggling multiple pill bottles? Titusville Express Pharmacy has your solution, now offering compliance packaging. Your medication sorted and sealed by dose, making it easier than ever to stay on track. In a hurry? Take advantage of our convenient drive-through service. We also offer free local delivery for those that qualify. Titusville Express Pharmacy, where convenience meets care. Visit us today at 401 West Spring Street in Titusville. Simplify your medication routine with Titusville Express Pharmacy.
Poppy's Equipment and Storage Rental in Pleasantville is committed to providing our customers with exceptional service while offering quality rental equipment. Poppy's is now an authorized steel dealer with everything you need to have for sawing and cutting or mowing to digging. And of course, Poppy's has tents, tables, chairs, heaters, generators, barbecues, and more for your next wedding or get-together. Need firewood or propane? No problem. Whether you're in construction or a weekend warrior, reach out to Poppy's about your next project. Poppy's Place on the Tenesta Road in Pleasantville. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, serving Crawford, Venango, Forest, and Warren counties. Their mission is to provide quality, low-cost, and personal financial products for the growth and security of their members and families. Stop in, call, or visit our website, communityconnectfcu.com, and click Join to get started. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, 1050 East Spring Street in Titusville.
Fat Chad's Brewing is Titusville's premier dining destination, offering fine dining served with a cold beverage and great conversations. Try our new menu items, the T-bone steak, homemade meatloaf dinner, or soft shell crab tacos. Our pasta entries and sandwiches are just as popular. Try the new lobster ravioli, shrimp and scallop pasta, or our popular Asiago chicken. Don't forget about our famous burgers or fish sandwich, all served with fresh cut fries. Come in Saturday nights for Wild Game Saturdays. For good food and good times, it's Fat Chad's Brewing in Titusville.
Titusville Market Square is home to over 100 unique vendors featuring antiques, collectibles, candles, coins, baked goods, dairy products, food items, comic books, toys, and so much more. You'll discover something new every time you walk through the door. Did we mention the selection of baked goods, breads, Clark's Donuts, and Amish pies? Titusville Market Square has you covered. Stop in to explore today. Titusville Market Square in downtown Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
Wall Street's major indexes edged higher on Monday, with the Dow and S&P 500 posting modest gains and the Nasdaq gaining roughly 0.25%. President Trump ramped up trade tensions over the weekend, vowing to slap a 30% tariff on most imports from the European Union and Mexico starting August 1st, leaving the clock ticking for last-minute trade deals. Despite the headlines, investor reaction was muted, having grown numb to Trump's barrage of tariff threats and last-minute U-turns. In fact, more tough talk from Trump only creates more buying opportunities for stocks, said Tally Leger, chief market strategist at the Wealth Consulting Group.
In terms of the approach, I think this is a strategy. We haven't changed our interpretation of the more bark than bite approach. If you think about it, there's way too many countries and counterparties and too little time. So I think Trump is really trying to just push or force the moment to a crisis, if you will. And as a firm, we don't let good crises go to waste, and we've been shopping the sales. I think that another way to frame that for investors is, instead of selling into the strength, we'd be buying into any weakness that does manifest here in the weeks and months ahead.
One place where Trump's tariff rhetoric moved markets was crude prices, with U.S. benchmark oil dropping more than 2% after Trump on Monday threatened levies on buyers of Russian exports. That pushed the S&P 500 Energy Index down 1.2%, the biggest decliner among the 11 S&P sectors. Among individual movers, shares of Warner Brothers Discovery gained more than 2% after the studio's latest Superman caper had a strong opening weekend at the box office. Crypto stocks ticked up after Bitcoin topped $120,000 for the first time, with shares of Coinbase and MicroStrategy both rising. On the flip side, shares of Waters Corp dropped nearly 14% after the lab equipment maker agreed to merge with rival Becton Dickinson and Company's Biosciences and Diagnostic Solutions unit in a $17.5 billion deal. Investors now turn their attention to a raft of economic data due out this week, as well as the start to second quarter earnings season.
Well, we lucked out finding a guy named Joe Tech who likes talking technology. He joins us here this morning. Hi, Joe. How's it going?
I actually had to change my name.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't.
It wasn't
okay.
Joe. Yeah,
Okay.
but I legally changed it to work for the show. So
perfect. We don't ask for a whole lot, but when we do, it's pretty personal and intense. So thank you for
no problem
doing that. Yeah. Good to see you this morning.
Good to see you too.
What's happening in the world? Hey, by the way,
yes,
all this talk of you like, AI is not gonna. You know how many stories pop up that say AI is programming itself?
Well, again, sensational headlines.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you can use AI to help you program, but it's not programming itself, quote unquote. It's doing programming work because it was trained to do programming work. They call it vibe coding.
Okay, well, I almost sent this to you last week, but I was like, I'll wait. New ChatGPT AI model tried to clone itself before shutdown and lied to developers about everything. But as you're saying, these headlines are...
They're sensationalized. Okay. Yeah. I have yet to find one that when you actually go in and read it, there isn't an explanation. And again, I actually listened to a video yesterday, and it's like all these large language models, they're all just prediction machines. The learning is them trying to figure out what's the best way to answer a question. And so then they essentially rank all the responses that could be had from different questions, and it's all a probability machine. All it is regurgitating what the next likely word would be. And again, those kind of things, it's because it was programmed to understand that, my job is to do, and I think I understand that one a little bit, that I'm going to get so many questions. And what happens is they try to shut the program down before the questions are done, so it's confused. And so it's trying to answer, it understands that it's going to have more questions, so it's trying to do that, and I don't know. It's if we get to artificial super intelligence, it will not be via chat GPT.
And it will not come from this room.
It will not come. No, it will not. But it will not come from these large language models because you can't. And the analogy that I've heard recently is in the 60s, we went to the moon. We use rocket technology. That's what a large language model is compared to leaving the solar system, which is what artificial general intelligence might be, and super intelligence is further out than that. We're not going to use the same technology that we got to the moon to leave the solar system. It's just not going to work. In the same way, these large language models are not artificial intelligence. All they are is a predictive machine.
So there's a viewer that wants to say something, and then we'll move on. Okay.
Okay.
Or not.
I love watching Joe Tech on Tuesday mornings.
All right.
I'm glad the Yeti likes to watch.
Yeah. It was really hard to go out and get him to say that.
Yeah. Oh, they're very secretive, yes.
Good points there, Joe.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Now, that's not to say that these large language models aren't going to be very helpful, and the tech companies are still going to put a lot of effort into them because it's the next biggest thing, and it could be very helpful and increase productivity for a lot of, and already has for a lot of industries. Which brings me to Meta, who, we talked about them putting a ton of money into getting caught up on these large language models. We talked about them poaching people from OpenAI, from Google, from Microsoft to try and bring in the talent. Well, this latest article, they're building massive gigawatt data centers. It's pouring billions of dollars into artificial intelligence. Again, I think they might be going at it a different way because they could, in theory, use that into their, into their social media and help it grow and become even more dominant, which in turn gets them ad dollars. But yeah, they're the first site is called Prometheus. It's going to come online sometime in 2026, and it's being built in Ohio right now. And there's a little bit of a battle between him and Elon Musk, which one will open first, because it will be the first gigawatt what do you want to call it, data center ever built. So, and what it is it's just a big warehouse with a bunch of computers in it, a bunch of GPUs, bunch of TPUs, which are tensor processing units, to do large scale data processing, whether it be training models or housing the large language model so that when you ask questions, it will do the processing power there and then send it out through the internet.
Did they say why they picked Ohio?
It did not say why they picked Ohio. They have another one, I think, in Louisiana as well.
I'm wondering if are they building new warehouses and buildings for these things, or are they rehabbing?
Most of them are new buildings. I haven't seen very many where they're rehabbing old buildings. Most of the buildings aren't big enough because these are huge. Like the one in Ohio, his quote was, if it were in Manhattan, it would take up a large tract of Manhattan.
Okay, so they're looking for places with land.
Yes, yeah. So that's why a lot of you'll see a lot in the Midwest, because they need just open land. The other thing that they look at is, if there's the ability to get power somewhere nearby. Actually, Google, there was an article that they are putting in some hydropower plants because it's a greener energy. It's fairly consistent because these things take huge power needs. The one in Ohio, they're actually building 2 natural gas fired power plants to actually run the gigawatt data center. So it's crazy how much power they need. So actually, one of the things that the Trump administration has done is made it easier for new coal power plants, specifically for data centers. So nobody's really taken them up on it. I think they even prefer to use at least natural gas. But that might be why they chose Ohio, because there's, Western Pennsylvania, Ohio have quite a bit of natural gas resources. So,
it's fascinating. I was just watching over the weekend a video, I want to say about Snake River dams killing too many fish. And there was a counter video that said, no, at one time perhaps, but the technology today, they've been able to build these dams so that fish can get around and not, it's a small percentage now versus years ago.
Yeah.
The number of fish that will end up getting killed by a dam, but the cleanliness of the energy being produced is so much better than wind and solar in this area.
Yeah.
And they're just amazed how environmentalists are fighting to have these dams removed for fish, but it's really going to cause more on the environmental side, and they're doing things to save the fish. So,
yeah, hydropower is as well as what do they call it? The hydrogeological, where they drill the wells into the ground and use the Earth's natural temperature. Those are incredibly environmentally friendly. More, like you said, way more so than even wind or solar, because there's not the use of battery packs and the raw materials that they need to use.
Yeah,
it's really super clean. Yeah.
Well, and it's consistent.
It is very consistent.
Where wind, you might have a few days where it's not windy, or the sun's not out, or whatever. But yeah, I just, it doesn't matter if you're on one side or the other. Money corrupts.
Yes.
The whatever, and it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and until we get fusion energy, which they claim will be, almost essentially free energy, that's the ultimate goal. But until we get there, we have to rely on other sources. So, and that's the other thing, like nuclear power, it's incredibly safe and incredibly clean now, other than the spent fuel, which there are ways of handling that. So, there's been a lot of people that have shied away from nuclear power, and it's probably actually a good way to go. So,
all right.
Since we're talking about AI, I do want to talk a bit about OpenAI. They have actually paused rolling out a new open weight model. So I should explain what an open weight model is. So it's kind of like open source. So up until now, ChatGPT, you had to do a query on the internet. It would send it back to their data servers, where they ran the query and sent you back the answer. They were set to release an open weight, which is essentially an open source model where developers could actually download the model with all the weights and all the work has been done. They could download it, put it on their machines, and make changes to it, adjust it, and build products with it. The weights meaning the training has already been done. So essentially what they do is, when they train a model, again, it's a prediction machine, they put numbers or weights to words, so that when they predict it, it's a number, and then they convert that back to the word. So the model being weighted means it's already been trained. So all the words have weights to it. Okay. So an open weight model being it's open source, so you can download it and play with it. Well, they were supposed to release that, but they decided to wait. There were some let me get the additional safety tests were needed. Last minute concerns over high risk areas. There's a lot of concern, you can take these models and make programs that will create Yeti videos, or you could make a model that would figure out how to, hack into things. So there's a lot of nefarious things that can be done with these models as well. So there's some concern over that. There were also speculation. Chinese model had just come out. The Ling 2, I think it was. Was it the Kimi K2? I'm sorry. From China had just come out, and there was concerns that maybe they didn't feel like they'd be able to compete. I don't know that that's correct.
Did you see the story where an imposter used AI to sound like Marco Rubio?
Yes,
calling like high-level officials and government agencies and foreign agencies. I guess there's some crazy stuff.
Yeah, and I'm sure that there's a ton of concerns over. Yeah, if we release this, people could, in theory, and again, I mean, that's kind of the risk you take with anything, right?
Yeah.
Anything open source. People can take things and do bad things with them, but
they're out there.
They're out there.
Let's do this real quick. You're watching The Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Joe Tech with us here this morning. A lot of scary stories out there.
A lot of scary stories out there.
I want to throw. We talked a little bit about space, so you brought up, space travel. I found this to be just incredible. In November 2026, so just over a year from now.
Yes.
NASA's Voyager 1 spacecraft will achieve an extraordinary milestone, becoming the first human-made object to reach a full light day from Earth.
Really?
And I just want people to think about this. When you hear these stories about, this system is 123 light years away, it's taken 50 years to go one light day.
Light day.
Day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not a light year, a light day.
Yes.
Yeah. And a lot of people get confused. A light year or a light day is a distance. It is not a time measurement. It's a distance. So a light day would be the distance it takes light to travel in a day. So the light from the sun takes, like 8 minutes to get to Earth?
Mm-hmm.
So a light day is how far it takes light to get in a day.
Yeah. And a light day for me would be just, coming in, doing the show, and maybe going home.
Yeah, that's a very light day for you. Yes. Or running reruns and not even coming in at all.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's an incredible accomplishment, though. I mean, to travel, and that's why the analogy of we're not going to use the rockets we use to go to the moon to go outside of our solar system, because it takes 40 years doing it that way.
Yeah.
You have to have a different way of doing it.
Won't be happening.
It will not be happening unless we can figure out how to, cryogenically freeze people and then bring them back to life after 100 years or whatever.
Well, even then, so much could go wrong. I mean,
Yeah,
and there's been all sorts of interesting. Here's the other thing, Joe. You mentioned just these headlines that you got to kind of watch out for. That's across the board, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
not just AI, but with story. There's so much that's being published out there. People just looking to grab headlines or to create, buzz or chatter, and they don't have to be accurate.
No.
And some people don't want that. Some people like to put stuff out there, just a little rumor mill and let it go.
I mean, it's typically driven by the almighty dollar. The more hits they get, the more ads they can sell, the more, which means money in their pocket. What sells? Scaring people, and it's super easy to do. It's very easy to get people to get scared and come and read your article and get some views and get those hit counts up. So do you want some even more bad news?
Sure.
It's getting harder to determine whether something is AI or not because people are starting to talk like AI.
Ooh.
A study by the Max Planck Institute, they wanted to see, if using these chat GPTs was, having an effect, and it is. So you know how when you read like a AI generated article, it just kind of feels off. It's because they use certain terms kind of over and over and overused terms. So they went through and figured out what those terms were, and then they looked at YouTube videos and podcasts before and after ChatGPT was released. We are now using more of those terms that AIs use more and more in our daily language. So it's harder and harder to tell what is AI and what is not, because we are starting to talk like AI.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah.
How about a positive story here?
Do you have one? Because I don't know that I have one.
Well, here we go. People who are obsessed with golf may be more intelligent, study shows.
I did see that headline.
Okay.
That's a headline that I can get behind, but I'm not going to read the article, Luke. I'm just, yep.
I can't. There's not enough pictures. But I appreciate that main headline.
What are you doing this afternoon? You want to go hit some golf balls?
Just let me know.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
So put down AI and go out and...
Put down AI, pick up the golf clubs, go out and enjoy some good weather.
I was flipping through the channels last night, and for about 10 seconds, I was on Golf Channel, and I don't even remember who the guy was. The Opens this week, right? So he was just talking about the number of people on the planet who are golfing, and broke down demographics and how there's a huge number of kids who are picking up clubs and going out and playing the game of golf. So, I see it with my kids. I don't know about yours, but mine have sort of stepped back a little bit from the technology. They don't want a smartwatch. They want the classic traditional watch. They like going out and camping. Now, are they taking their phones? Yeah.
But it's not the focus.
Correct.
The focus is going out, getting outside, doing stuff, having fun. Yeah, we had a bunch of kids over last night, just old school, sitting around a fire talking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Joe.
Good to see you, too.
All right, all the best.
So in a nutshell, we're going to make top-of-the-line weapons and they'll be sent to NATO.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Levin, and I proudly own and operate Puppy Levin. Puppy Levin is a pet care salon dedicated to caring for your furry companions. We provide certified dog grooming services, along with boarding and doggy daycare. Our facility is family-owned and operated, and promise personalized care for every pet that comes through our doors. If you're worried about your furry friend being lonely when you're gone, we also have on-site personnel 24/7 just for their comfort. Follow us on Facebook and call or text us at 814-758-9259 to make an appointment today.
Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home has been serving the needs of Titusville and surrounding communities since 1965. Mr. Garrett believed in tradition and commitment to excellence, standards that have been passed down from one generation to now a new generation, who will work to provide you with a beautiful, lasting tribute to your loved one. When you need them, they will be there for you. This has been their foundation for almost 60 years. The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, 303 North Washington Street in Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
Sheer Design is Titusville's exclusive Paul Mitchell focused salon. This full-service salon specializes in coloring, cuts, nails, and tanning. Owner Angela Saxon has over 20 years experience as a Paul Mitchell professional. She and her licensed staff offer all cuts and styles for men and women of all ages. Call 814-827-0010 or stop in at 116 South Kerr Street in Titusville.
J. Gill Plumbing and Heating takes pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. With over 30 years of experience, our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. Our team is dedicated to making your home the ultimate place of comfort. Call today to get a free estimate. We also offer financing options and membership opportunities that provide peace of mind and cost savings. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online 24/7 at jgillplumbingheating.com.
If you're looking for a professional massage therapist, Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville is here for you. Ray and Rauch graduated from Slippery Rock University with a bachelor's degree in exercise and rehabilitative sciences with an emphasis in athletic training. Tranquil Moments offers a wide range of services, from Swedish massage to deep tissue, sugar scrubs to hot towel inclusion therapy. Like them on Facebook and visit their website to learn more about all the services they offer. Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville.
Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night's stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733.
Wall Street's major indexes edged higher on Monday, with the Dow and S&P 500 posting modest gains and the Nasdaq gaining roughly 0.25%. President Trump ramped up trade tensions over the weekend, vowing to slap a 30% tariff on most imports from the European Union and Mexico starting August 1st, leaving the clock ticking for last-minute trade deals. Despite the headlines, investor reaction was muted, having grown numb to Trump's barrage of tariff threats and last-minute U-turns. In fact, more tough talk from Trump only creates more buying opportunities for stocks, said Tally Leger, chief market strategist at the Wealth Consulting Group.
In terms of the approach, I think this is a strategy. We haven't changed our interpretation of the more bark than bite approach. If you think about it, there's way too many countries and counterparties and too little time. So I think Trump is really trying to just push or force the moment to a crisis, if you will. And as a firm, we don't let good crises go to waste, and we've been shopping the sales. I think that another way to frame that for investors is, instead of selling into the strength, we'd be buying into any weakness that does manifest here in the weeks and months ahead.
One place where Trump's tariff rhetoric moved markets was crude prices, with U.S. benchmark oil dropping more than 2% after Trump on Monday threatened levies on buyers of Russian exports. That pushed the S&P 500 Energy Index down 1.2%, the biggest decliner among the 11 S&P sectors. Among individual movers, shares of Warner Brothers Discovery gained more than 2% after the studio's latest Superman caper had a strong opening weekend at the box office. Crypto stocks ticked up after Bitcoin topped $120,000 for the first time, with shares of Coinbase and MicroStrategy both rising. On the flip side, shares of Waters Corp dropped nearly 14% after the lab equipment maker agreed to merge with rival Becton Dickinson and Company's Biosciences and Diagnostic Solutions unit in a $17.5 billion deal. Investors now turn their attention to a raft of economic data due out this week, as well as the start to second quarter earnings season.
Well, a quick look at that weather forecast for northwest Pennsylvania. Mostly sunny today with temperatures in the upper 80s. Partly cloudy tonight, followed by some cloudy skies overnight with lows in the upper 60s. On into Wednesday, afternoon thunderstorms, low 80s. Thursday, thunderstorms, low 80s. Friday, morning clouds, afternoon sunshine. Bit cooler, upper 70s for a high, but we warm back up Saturday with partly cloudy skies and temperatures in the low 80s. Meadville this morning is at 68 degrees. Cambridge Springs, Edinburgh at 66. Titusville 68. Franklin this morning 70. Oil City 69 degrees here at 8:38. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. I believe it's going to be 20 years of the Caboose Motel, and who could join us to tell us all about all the fun happening? Oh, we've got Marie Rainey and Barb Ives. Good morning. Good to see you this morning.
Good morning.
Glad you're with us. Let's start with the history of the Caboose Motel. Obviously, it opened 20 years ago, but how did it get started? When did that conversation begin, and how did we end up here?
That's your ballot.
That's mine, yeah, because I've been there the whole time. Well, of course, it was privately owned before, over by the old Molly's Mill. And CJTC and Betty Squire, and pretty much myself, got a itch and decided that it should get moved. And, you know, we could open up a motel. So the OC&T actually owns the motel. They bought it. But CJ did her magic, and Terry Rio somehow got a special crane in to move all the cabooses for us. There's 21 of them. Got them all moved for us over to the other tracks, to where they are now, their permanent home. We did a lot of walking around in mud, and this should go here and that should go there, and it happened. I have to say, several on the OC&T board were not on board for this. They thought we were completely nuts, which if you saw Betty, CJ, and I coming at you, what would you think? Yes. So. But it all got into place. It took a few years. We actually, was it last year we showed a profit? But it's become quite the place to come. And to all the naysayers in Titusville that didn't think it was going to happen, it's been wonderful.
So I'm just kind of curious, was it conversation that happened a couple years prior to this? Was it in the mid to late 90s it started to take shape?
Well, it could be, because I think that grant from Peterson's office was
that was the other thing. Yeah, we got
it.
We got a grant from Congressman John Peterson. Don't know where that came from. And yeah, I mean, it was a huge grant. It really truly helped us.
Was this inspired by somewhere else that you had this idea? This was all
it was Crazy Women.
Sitting. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it had already been a sitting motel that was used a lot. I do know the location of it, and the location where it is now is still pretty industrial, but people that were from bigger cities and things were a little afraid to stay in the motel in the old spot, just because they're used to noise, traffic, fire engines. So that was a learning curve to try to get people here, and that it's safe and it's okay. But yeah, I guess it was. There's just been so much, and I can't even think. I was secretary coming out of the chute of the board, and I've been president since Abe Lincoln, I think. So yeah.
The whole time
Who
I've been
stayed
here.
at one of the cabooses? Is that correct?
Yeah. Yep. They just cleaned one out for me.
Yeah.
But it's been tried and true, and we were on a very clean, nice motel. People, the first question, what's the first question, Marie?
Do they move?
Do they move? And the second one is there a bathroom?
Yeah, that's the big one.
That's the big one, yeah.
It used to make me laugh, but people
Yeah.
really don't think there's
No.
a bathroom in them and that they would have to bring their own stuff. You don't. We have a bathroom. It's got a shower, a sink, and a toilet in it. No tub, but that's
Right.
sufficient.
Yeah.
We have cabooses that have one king-size bed in them. They're the ones that have the cupola, so you better like the morning light. And the other ones have 2 double beds in them, and those are the ones that have the bay windows.
What's the reaction when somebody walks in or brings their family in for the first time? They have to be excited, right? Because
They are, because it's not what they expect. Because I know there are other caboose hotels in Pennsylvania. I know of one other one anyway. And
Strasbourg, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's my understanding that theirs have like maybe bunk beds in them. Now I know some of them have been upgraded because I have looked on their website to see. So I don't know how they do some of the things that they do, and maybe they're not real cabooses. I don't know.
Gotcha. And you have people that stay, that they come to visit from all over. It's not just local people stay just for the
Not
coolness.
very often. There's a lot of local people that aren't aware that that's a motel.
Okay.
I don't know how, but
And that'll be part of the celebration, too.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't. Now, they might have family, or if there's a wedding in town, a lot of times they'll get several cabooses, things like that. So they may come down and see the cabooses, but they don't stay there. And it's really, really out of town, out of
it
country.
is. Yeah, we've had them from out of country.
Wow.
Yeah.
We are full every weekend from now until the end of October.
That's fantastic.
I don't think the people in Titusville realize how many people ride the train and how many people stay in those cabooses. And we have overflow. You know, we have people waiting on lists in case somebody cancels or can't make it. So
But the ones who do know really appreciate it, I think, and take advantage of it. Because I hear from some of the restaurant owners who say, we really like that weekend business. And I think they're with you jumping up and down saying, this is a great asset, you know, the train and the caboose, and it brings people here. So, I mean, you're right. There's other people that don't really understand that, but there are a few that are with you in that corner, I think, saying, this is...
And I know the OC&T and the cabooses, we will happily tell people what's open, what they should try to go see, what restaurants are around. So, you know, we do try to help the city as much as we can, too.
Yeah. Well, it's been a nice... Again, I think there's been a lot of engagement, too, with getting involved with community activities, and I think that's been something that's grown over the last 20 years. Let's get into it. The actual celebration is going to be when?
Sunday, July 20th, from 3 till 7 p.m. We're going to have a band called Sugar Lake Pickers. They will be there from 3 to 6 p.m.
If nobody knows, if everybody remembers Brian Sanford, it's his band.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And we're trying to get a food truck there. I'm working on that. We have beautiful banners. Did you get the second one?
Not yet.
Okay, well, we have big banners, which were made by the Alumni Association. I have to get that plug in,
Yes.
you know. And, the train station will be open
The train
if
station
people
will
want to
be
go to the
open.
gift shop. There are restrooms there, and absolutely an open house, so people in town can actually come in and see the cabooses and see what they are, because they're the ones that don't usually get to see them or know what they're about. So we'll have those. I think that's about it. But
we have some giveaways.
Yeah, we were hoping until yesterday. We thought we had the speeders to give rides, but they have mechanical problems and they're not going to be able to make it. So that was going to be a fun thing, because I know at Oil Festival when they come, they sell out before they're even here. And I thought, well, this would be a chance for other people to be able to ride them, but unfortunately that didn't work out.
This is how crazy and how fast the summer is going. For a good couple minutes here, I was thinking July 20th. Oh, that's still a month away. No.
Be nice.
It's this weekend.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yes.
All right, so 3 to 7 p.m. You mentioned, Barb, the industrial area, the setting. Is that part of the attraction now, though? I mean, it is,
especially to railroad buffs.
Okay.
Railroad buffs really like the industrial look of it. And other people that come and don't realize the area, I think they end up appreciating it once they're down there. And I think also, if you are from a bigger city, I work for the congressman, but this was back in Congressman Peterson day, and we were having the D.C. staff up. And they were so funny about those cabooses, about but I think because there's a lot of activity in that area, industrial-wise, there's people, there's movement, and I think that helps too. And you can also have a fire. We have fire ring. You have to bring your own wood, but people do that. We have chairs out on the decks. They can just sit out and visit. And of course, the railroad.
The railroad's right there.
I will tell you, our one hiccup, it was a big hiccup. We couldn't get Wi-Fi because we were 21 tin cans.
Oh, yeah.
And we tried everything. Or I should say Marie tried everything. And finally, a fellow out of Penn State said, I think I can do this. And he came up and he fiddled and he did whatever, and we had Wi-Fi, because we're trying to get midweek guests, business people to stay with us.
This
and you
was
have
like
to say,
10 years ago.
Yeah, this telling you, it's like, well, you'll have to go to McDonald's to use your laptop or whatever. It was a blessing. Cost us very little, very little, and just was last year.
Last year,
he came,
the year
he had to tweak
before,
it again.
We had to call them because some of the equipment needed replaced.
Yeah, but and that was, like I said, that was 10 years without a glitch. So that itself was really, really nice that we could say, yes, we have Wi-Fi and it's good Wi-Fi. So that was a fun time.
So business travelers, hey, don't be afraid. Stay here during the week.
Exactly.
Yeah. And during the summer months, of course, the weekdays are somewhat filled with the train and whatever. But when you get early spring, fall, those midweek ones tend to be a little empty. So
not in October.
October is our biggest month.
From the 1st of October until the train is done, we are full every day.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to come, we still have some reservations in October, but not a lot.
Yeah. And if it does get full, they just get on a list then, and if something does happen, okay.
I mean, we can tell them what's in town, bed and breakfasts or whatever is in town, the other hotel.
When Sherry's on, it sounds like a joke when we say, if any of these rides interest you, you need to call now and get your tickets.
And because people don't understand that.
The murder mysteries, they just sell out so quickly.
They do, and we fill up, before they sell out, we fill up because there's only 21 cabooses.
Wow.
And their train, for murder mysteries, probably, 200, 100, I don't remember anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't have enough people. I don't have enough cabooses to fill the people. And we had a lady one time tell us, you need to coordinate with the train. Okay? Well, I can do that, but we only have 21 cabooses. I can't.
There are many days I wish we had 42. And there are many days I'm glad we have 21.
Yeah.
But in the summer, you're like, boy, we could just sell these out. And I've always said my wish before I walk away from being president of this, which apparently I'm just going to die there, I don't know, but is to make it year-round. I would love it year-round. Our problem is our water pipes. They're all connected. They're all above ground.
Well,
and go ahead. You do it technically.
They go from the cabooses to the ground, so those ones are open. So, but then they go underground a little bit. I don't think they're deep enough.
At the frost level.
I don't think they're at the frost
Well,
level.
I want to ask you. We're looking at the last 20 years, but what's ahead? So I don't know if there's any other plans, but let's do this real quick. You're watching the Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel, celebrating 20th year here of the Caboose Motel, and a lot going on. We'll recap the events happening on the 20th in just a little bit. I want to ask, though, before we get to the future, or more of the future, when guests arrive, do they kind of have an idea of what's available to them? Have they done research? They know
Sometimes.
the museums here or the trails here, or are they pleasantly surprised that there's so much to offer? Because I hear that so many times when we have guests that are talking about events, that people come here for an event like the Roughneck Gravel Rebate, and they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I could bring my whole family here, or the Oil Creek Classic, or events like that where they go, next year I'm coming back. It's so beautiful here, and I'm bringing my family because there is so much to enjoy. Do you hear that as well, or do most people have an idea what's available?
Some people, when they call to make a reservation, they will ask what else is there to do in the area. So then we let them know all that we know that's going on and what is available to them, the trails and Drakewell and all of those. So, yes, we pass that information along.
And every time Sherry's on, you light up, because anytime somebody talks about trains, right? As if you're an adult, you go right back to your childhood and how they're just amazing, right?
Exactly.
Do you see the same when people are walking in and the kids are getting excited?
Oh, the kids are so excited.
Yeah, the kids love it. Just love it.
And a lot of adults really get excited too.
Yes.
They do.
Well, it's fantastic. So, Barb, you started talking about maybe some things in the future. So as you celebrate your 20th, are there other things in addition to being open year-round that you talk about that might happen in the next 20 years?
We're limited because we are 21 tin cans. You can only do so much.
Great selling point, Barb.
Great selling point, yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Big tin cans. We have talked about
the upkeep on them.
The upkeep is a lot on them. So we do try to keep them both. We are seasonal. You open up in the spring, surprise, something leaked, something happened, something. This year, I was so excited. We've had the least maintenance on opening that we've ever had. So things are, because we put new roofs last year, and was it the year before or just last year? We put all new roofs on those because they're metal, and
not all of them, but
the ones that
one with the cupolas.
Yeah, and that's made a big difference in our maintenance. We've had to pull out carpeting, replace carpeting. Air conditioners are not our friend. Well, they each have their own unit, and they're the exact same unit I used to have when I had my office down here. And they get wore out, and so also I get the call. So we always have a couple on standby with the plumber, just in case, because it does happen. And we sure go through a lot of washers and dryers.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't think about that end of it, but a lot. Because when you have 21 cabooses and all the towels, sheets, blankets, it's ongoing.
So just a lot of maintenance work.
There is. Yeah, that's why we do turn a profit, but it could be bigger, but there's a lot. And the OC&T is wonderful to us. I mean, they do own them, but they, if we need something, they're right there. They're more than willing to help us. And we interchange a lot with Sherry. We're kind of like one big group, and it works out very nicely. But maintenance is a thing, and painting and the bees.
Always.
The bees like us. Yes. Yeah.
Marie, for you, if you had that magic wand and you could add something here, what would it be?
I would like them repainted. They really need it.
It's been a while.
It's been several years since they were done, and we try to keep them fairly true to what they were originally.
Yeah. So those were the original colors, or did you get pictures and say, "Hey, let's model this one"? Like
some were,
we had some pictures.
Some were original.
Yes.
A lot we went from pictures because there are a lot of trained and historical buffs, so we do try to make it as close to original as we can, because that's important when they come to stay. Other people just, oh, that's a pretty yellow, but,
Yeah.
But the ones that really are into the history and the trains, it's very important, so we do try to keep that up.
Will you have people who stay that ask you those types of questions?
Yes.
Like, is there a history behind this one, or did they
Yes.
are they trying to pick one to stay in, or
Some people will call and they will specifically ask for a specific car. Usually I can accommodate them. Once in a while I can't.
Yeah.
But
Well, it sounds like October and weekends a little more challenging, right?
Yes, Oil Festival.
Oil Festival, yes.
Yeah. We sell out at least a year ahead for Oil Festival.
Well, how long does it take to get things prepped for a season? You mentioned you open in the spring. Are you going in a month before, or months, or when do you start that process?
usually a couple weeks before we had planned our opening.
Okay.
Sometimes it doesn't work out. A year ago we opened April 1st, and that was not necessarily a good thing. We had broken water pipes, and because the weather didn't
Yeah.
cooperate. But this year we waited till the 15th of April to open. So we go in a week to 2 weeks ahead of time just to get it cleaned up and ready for customers. So it just depends on the weather, what we do.
Are
you ever looking for board members? Is there somebody?
Always.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. We actually have a pretty full board right now, and that's
Okay.
very recent. But anybody that has any interest, we welcome them, because we love ideas, fresh ideas. I've been around forever. So you kind of get rusty, and when somebody says something new, I get all excited because I'm not one of those we always did it this way, so we have to do it that way person. And but we have a good board, I think.
We have a good board.
Yeah.
We have always are in need of housekeepers.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody looking for a part-time job, that's because it's not like a normal hotel where you can go up and down an elevator and you have a cart. You're going caboose to caboose, and it's
not always easy.
Yeah. But what an experience.
Yeah.
That's amazing. All right, celebrating 20 years of the Caboose Motel, Sunday, July 20th, 3 to 7 p.m. Big anniversary celebration. Kind of recap again those events that are taking place.
You want to
3 to 6 p.m. we have the Sugar Lake Pickers. There will be, throughout the day, we will have open house so people can come and look inside the cabooses themselves and see what they're really all about. The 3 o'clock time was set because the train gets back at 2, so that gives the parking lot time maybe to clear out a little bit. Or else they'll stay and enjoy stuff with us. And hopefully we'll have some food trucks and
I'm trying to get that
giveaways
nailed down. But we have a big gift basket giving away. So it's going to be fun, and I'm kind of anxious to see the looks on the local people's face when they actually get to walk through a caboose and see what it looks like.
Well, congratulations on 20 years, and we look forward to the next 20 years.
Thank you.
Well, we'll have you back in 20 years.
Lord
So,
willing.
yeah.
I'm going to be retired.
Well, thanks for all that you do. We appreciate it. So,
Thanks for having us.
Congratulations.